After that. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fantasy NBA Today, a Sports Ethos presentation brought to you by our great partners at FanDuel. My name is Aaron Bruski, and with me is the great Steven Alexander. And today we're going to get you guys ready for a pretty nice slate tonight. And as usual, we will start the show with our streamers. We'll shift into what to watch for, and then we will wrap things up with our rotating topic, which today is add or pass. Add or pass. And if you're a brand new listener, welcome to the show. Go ahead and check out sportsethos.com. That's where we live. And if you're watching here on Twitter, just a quick heads up, not all of our episodes stream here. So to make sure that you never miss one, hop on over to YouTube and subscribe to the Sports Ethos channel. That's youtube.com/sportsethos. Steven Alexander, how are you doing today?
Hello, Aaron. I'm well.
Yes.
Brew, I've got another show after this. It's time for Dr. A's or Q&A with Dr. A, something. I don't know. Q&A with Dr.
That rhymes.
Right after
Q&A with Dr. A.
Right after
you can ask the dude anything you want.
Literally.
And he will answer. Because he's good like that.
Maybe.
Thank you for reminding the listeners that there's a third show today. You guys get a lot of free content here at Sports Ethos. So check it all out. Let's get some news updates as we just got done recording our earlier show. We got the Mitchell Robinson update. He and his 17% foul shooting are out on Wednesday. Today? Today is Wednesday. Who would have thought? Denny Abdia and Donovan Clingan, questionable. So that's a little bit of a bummer. Denny with a left ankle sprain. Donovan now left lower leg contusion. So I wonder what's going on with that. Robert Williams, injury management ruled out. And then some guy named Duncan Robinson, who I don't know about. Like, I can't tell you anything about Duncan Robinson. He is present at shoot-around today with his ankle injury. So I'm sure there's things to talk about there. PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford present at shoot-around. Good job, guys. Trey Jones downgraded to questionable. That's not good. Bobby Portis downgraded to questionable with an eye injury. And then this one's really interesting here, Doc. Paolo Banchero, left groin strain, limited to non-contact work, but is running and jumping. What's your read on that, Doc?
Yeah, I mean, when they made him day-to-day the other day, I was like, oh, he's almost back. And now I hear that, and I'm like, what? That's not back. He's running. So that's a little bit of a buzzkill. I mean, it doesn't change anything because if you've got Paolo Banchero, you're just going to continue to wait. It just feels like the wait's going to be a little bit longer than we thought it was going to be.
Well, I'm sure glad that we all held Desmond Bane, bought low, and did all of the things. And there's just more momentum for the Desmond Bane train. And also when they do well and they're 13-8 and things are working for Orlando, when Paolo gets back, it's every game he misses is going to be harder for him to come back and be like, it's my team, my ball, we do things my way. And Bane, you can go shove it. You know, it's going to be harder for him to do that. And then this small market injury reporting, if I'm the league, the league's got to get a handle on the way that they handle media and news reporting and injury reporting. And they're coming off the scandal, that's kind of died down over the last couple of weeks. You got to keep the media fed and you got to build excitement for your game. And if you allow these teams to run their PR departments as essentially, the media access as PR arms, for the team, they dole out access based on how nice you are to the teams. And I'm not really talking about Orlando specifically, but small markets are more susceptible to this. You don't ever get a good update, and the product is watered down, and you don't get real reporting on the ground. And I think that there's been an impact in the game's popularity because reporting is just so schlocky nowadays. Banchero, this is a number 1 overall draft pick. He deserves the kind of reporting you'd get out of like a Chicago or a New York or a big city where it's like every day you get an update and you know exactly what's going on. Banchero not having contact like that to me feels like weeks. So I don't know if there's an associated comment for that, Doc, but
I do have 2 things I want to say real quickly. You mentioned the scandal, the betting scandal, the props, bets, unders and stuff. It has died down, but there are guys on Twitter now that their sole purpose in life is to find a guy who is intentionally tanking trying to hit the under. And I saw a guy break down that horrible Keontae George game the other day. And you watch these clips from that game and listen to this guy break it down. It's like, it really looks like he wasn't trying. Like, this is weird. So that's, and then Jimmy Butler last night, there were a lot of people said, oh, Butler must have had himself on the under, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's still there. It's just not in the big media as much.
If the league is kind of dumb enough, and I've met some of them over there, they're not dumb people, but there's just like bigger forces at play with this stuff. If they think that this is like, okay, cool, it's died down and it's just going to kind of run its course, like the next one's right around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
And you got to get ahead of this if you're the league. And just, I'm not even as like, yeah, the injury reporting, they're going to be like new policies and procedures probably on an ongoing basis that will impact fantasy leagues. It'll be fun for us to sort through, like, how does this all look now? Do we all get information 2 days early? What's that going to look like in terms of competition on the ground in fantasy leagues? But I just think the bigger piece is that, like, Minnesota doesn't even have a beat writer that goes to away games. Like,
well, that brings up my second point. I have a feeling when a guy like Dennis Jenkins is assigned to the G League, which it's going to happen. No, and this is, I'm not even.
No, go on.
When he gets assigned to the G League, that is going to be important news for you and me and every other fantasy player in the land. And sometimes when guys get assigned to the G League, we get a report like so-and-so's in the G League. A lot of times it's like, who cares? But sometimes you don't know a player's in the G League until he's in the lineup in the G League that night. And like,
we didn't know
crap,
Keegan Murray was getting
Dennis Jenkins not playing tonight.
We didn't know that Keegan Murray was going to be getting an assignment in the G League until the Sports Ethos feed popped it out. I retweeted it, and then the Sacramento Kings reporter was like, okay, we got to go check on this. Next thing you know, you're getting a report from the Sacramento Kings. And so, yeah, there's a hole in the reporting game out there. I mean, with Jordan Goodwin, I want to say 1 or 2 seasons ago, was getting big numbers in like the fantasy playoffs, and he was a 10-day guy or whatever he was. And you couldn't even get a report on this guy. It's like, oh, he's not even at the arena. Sorry, guys. You know, and everybody's got him in their starting lineup because he's going off. Like, that stuff's happening. But I'm mostly, and we'll get to the streams here real quick, mostly just laughing at, like, okay, if you tear down the media because streaming and all the different things are essentially, you know, like, you know, the YouTubeification of everything is essentially breaking up every major industry there ever was. Shout out YouTube. There's this hole in the reporting game, and there's a hole in the way that the game is presented and pitched locally as well as nationally. And if you don't have media in the room promoting your game and the texture and all of the richness and all of the things that make people want to watch, you are going to have a dip in popularity. So NBA, get your crap together. Let's talk streamers, Doc. Who is your top streamer of the night?
I'm very interested in this gentleman named Spencer Jones that plays for Dallas. Aaron Gordon is gone.
Vanished.
He's gone.
He's not
vanished. And his teammate, help me, Brew. Who's the forward for Denver that is fun?
Christian Brown?
No. The guy
Peyton Watson.
Thank you so much. I was thinking his name started with a J. Yeah. So Peyton Watson is already rostered and was already starting before Aaron Gordon went down. In steps Spencer Jones, who on Friday, he played 23 minutes, had 9 points, 3 assists, a steal, a block, and a 3. And we're like, okay, well, that's cool. That's cute. But you didn't really get excited about it. And then Saturday, 27 minutes, 4 triples, 16 points, 9 boards, and a block. And then you're like, hey, now. Maybe Spencer is
Who
going
is this Spencer Jones you speak of?
He might do something going forward. And then Monday against the hapless Dallas Mavericks, 39 minutes, 11 of 15 shooting, 4 triples, 28 points, 5 rebounds. The goodies weren't there, but I don't care at this point. That is a 3-game ascension that you have to stop and take a look at and think about. So, to me, he's going to be really cheap on FanDuel and DraftKings, wherever else. And he's going to be available in a ton of leagues. You stream him, you play him, and you do what you can to roll Spencer Jones out there tonight and every night until the walls crash down. Until he comes crashing back to earth, you ride this wave. You jump on it.
The thing I like about Spencer Jones is he has good size, and there's certain things that you can't really teach, and that size is one of them, and then shooting's the other. And he's got those two things going for him. I don't know what else he's got going for him. I mean, I don't think he's going to wow us, as a steals and blocks guy, but the effort will be there. And he plays with a Nikola Jokic. If it was any other team and any other kind of dominant player on a team, I'd be really worried that Spencer Jones isn't going to get any opportunities to make any hay. But with Jokic out there throwing darts, and the last player that they're going to cover on the court, if you're going to let somebody be open, it's going to be Spencer Jones. And so I like this play. I don't know if there's substance to it beyond, say, like 1 or 2 weeks, but Spencer Jones looking good. And it's a great streamer right here. I got Trey Jones if he plays tonight. So that's a question mark. And then Ayo Dosunmu, to me, is probably the way to go here. And you might get a little bit more upside out of Jones, but Ayo's been great. He's a back end of the late round guy at worst. Kind of flirting with top 125, 100 value. He is just so super efficient. And I think that there's going to be layers to this. Like, I think he's going to be a player that in 2 to 3 years adds a little bit more off the dribble stuff and starts getting a little bit more freedom to do other things. But as it is right now, he's super efficient. He's shooting, he's taking and making more threes. Athletically, defensively, he checks all of the boxes that they need out there. Such a great compliment to what they're doing, just roster wise with Josh Giddey and kind of taking into account his defensive issues and having a player that doesn't need the ball. I love Ayo Dosunmu, and I think he's going to be a great streamer here tonight as well. If Trey Jones, who's been super athletic this season in relation to kind of where I thought he was going to be overall as a basketball player. But
if Kobe White wasn't around, dude, I'd be so fired up about Trey Jones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they get Brooklyn tonight at home. I guess the fear would be that they just run these guys out of the gym and they don't get kind of max value out of their stat line. And that might be the impetus to get Trey Jones some rest. Chicago at 9-11, we talked about this last show. They need a win, though. So I kind of think they're going to put a whooping on Brooklyn, and that's going to be Ayo Dosunmu with like 18 points, 4 threes, and a relatively full stat line after that. Doc, if you have anything to say, feel free. But who else do you like tonight?
Well, Rick Kamla on NBA TV, when he used to host the fantasy show way back in the day, he'd say, if this guy's available on your waiver wire, your league is fraudulent. And it always stuck with me as like, man, that's crazy. That's a wild thing to say, but he's sort of right. And I'm going to go ahead and pick it up and lay it down. If Jalen Tyson is available in your league, it is fraudulent.
Hey, he's available in a lot of leagues too. Like, I don't know what that means. Like, is it fraudulent? He should not be.
All those leagues are fraudulent. No, it just means that people need to cut Chris Middleton and go pick up Jalen Tyson. Like, it's insane. And I hate to belabor the point, but going into this week, I'm like, Jalen Tyson plays 4 games this week. There's no Jared Allen. He's cooking. He's heating up anyway. Jalen Tyson is not going to be available in any leagues after this week. And game 1, he went off like 27, 50. Like, the numbers were insane that first game. I am rolling Jalen Tyson out there until the cows come home, until he lets me down. And I will even take a completely bad night from him right now, and I won't cut him. I'm holding on to that guy for dear life right now.
Yeah, I'm just all in as well. I'm also doing everything I can not to just like lose my mind at the news that came through the wire, but we will get through this segment. Oh, yes, we will. I'm going to take TJ McConnell after his disaster game in the last one. I think he was banged up and possibly a little bit injured, but against a Denver Nuggets squad. They're going to need everybody, that they can get, and then some at 4-17, fighting for their season. The Indiana Pacers and TJ McConnell out there. They need a leader, against a savvy Denver squad to compete. I don't know. This is basically, is TJ McConnell healthy? If so, cool, great. You got yourself a top 100 fantasy play for the rest of the season and probably available in a lot of leagues out there. Doc, who's your next guy?
Next on my list is Noah Clowney. Noah Clowney, the man who has been hyped for a while, never really lived up to it. Is starting to live up with it. He's balled out in like 5 of his last 6 games, maybe 6 of the last 7. Had one huge dud in there that was a blowout situation. I feel like Noah Clowney should be rostered in most leagues by now. If he's not and he's available on your waiver wire, tonight is a great night to stream Noah Clowney. And then the good old standbys that I have are the same guys. I always talk about Anthony Black, Jay Huff, and Davion Mitchell. All 3 of those guys are also excellent streamers. Brew, who's your last one?
I didn't hear a word you said. This news is just so great. You talked about Noah Clowney, I bet. And I like Noah Clowney. I hope he has a great end of season run. I'm going to hopefully see a top 100 future for Noah Clowney. He's just got to get more consistent, and that's really tough. We'll see it. We'll see it if it happens tonight against those Lovables. I like the Spurs. Call me old fashioned, but I like the Spurs. Hey, and we got one right last night. Harrison Barnes was my pick, and it was on the logic that he was due. He just hadn't done it in a while, and we got a Harrison Barnes game. So
who's it going to be tonight?
I think we're going to go to Keldon Johnson. I think if I had to pick, gun to head, I want it to be Dylan Harper. I really do. I think Dylan Harper's kind of got it going on. He's like about ready to emerge and have a big one. But I'm a little bit worried about the back-to-back, and I think they might play it a little safe here. So I think it's a Keldon Johnson night.
Let's go Champagny versus Keldon for a burrito. Andre's the judge.
You're going to take Champagny?
Yeah. Actually,
I owe you a burrito.
Maybe I should get the better of Harry and Champagny, because Champagny kind of sucks. No, I'll go Champagny.
This thing got offensive and rude out of nowhere.
Champagny.
Thank you for having honor. Turn. And I reminded you about the burrito I owe you, by the way. I will always pay a bet. So name your burrito place in Dahlonega. Do they got good burritos in Dahlonega? Is it a burrito place?
I haven't seen a burrito arrive at my front door.
All right. Well, let me know if Dahlonega has a burrito joint. And then I might order one for myself and send it out to California. And then have an assessment of it. You got any other? Give me your honorable mentions, because I
already did. You were reading about resolutions and revolutions and whatnot. I already did all that.
Oh yeah, you did? Okay, yeah. Cool. Mo Gay, maybe in a deep league. Ryan Nembhard. I feel like we haven't talked enough about this guy. Like, I want to see it again. It's a tough matchup in Miami. This is a team that can make a Ryan Nembhard disappear, I think. But this is in Dallas, so that's nice. He had such a good game with the last one. You almost got, if he's available, which I kind of don't think he will be after that big game. I think people will jump on that kind of a thing. But if he's not already picked up, try it out. Let's see if we catch lightning in a bottle. He might just be one of those players who's been undervalued because of his size. And he's got challenges. There's no defensive stats here. This is a big points league lean, but Ryan Nembhard would be a fun one. I'm not going to play Duncan Robinson tonight because I'll be playing Dennis Jenkins tonight. Oh, by the way, what goes down must go up. It's science. 3 of 16 in the last one, 9 of 16 tonight. Dennis Jenkins, but we'll see if he gets on the floor.
Dude, if Dennis Jenkins takes 16 shots tonight.
Yeah, think of what you're going to send to me.
I was going to say burritos for life, but I that's a little too. I don't have
You don't want to be on the hook.
Yeah,
Jenkins got you scared.
I couldn't afford. All
right. Hey, we're doing everybody a major disservice right now. Apparently, something that I thought was coming a couple months ago, something that I, as predicted here on Fantasy NBA today, Giannis Antetokounmpo and his agent Alex Saratzis rolls right off the tongue have started conversations with the Milwaukee Bucks about the two-time NBA MVP's future and discussing whether his best fit is staying or elsewhere. They're talking it out, folks. They're going to see if they can make it work, right? A resolution/revolution is expected in the coming weeks. Doc, you get to go first. What do you like?
They say you want a revolution. Yeah. I mean, we could see this coming from a mile away. Oh, good. I don't have to say his name.
You don't have to say anything. I love it.
No, I don't have to say his name. We saw this coming from a mile away. The Bucks are in trouble. Ever since Giannis won that MVP, it's just kind of been trouble. They won the title in 2021, and since then, nothing has gone their way. Damian Lillard move, bad. Losing Drew Holiday, bad. Chris Middleton washed up, bad. Like nothing has gone right. Doc Rivers, I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan. So this is the least surprising thing to come across the wire. I just like the fact that a revolution is expected in the coming weeks is what we have changed a resolution to over here at Sports Ethos.
Yeah, I mean, this was the planning behind the Kevin Porter rank, that's for sure. This was the green lights behind Ryan Rollins the minute that guy had a pulse, that's for sure. That's like the beginning of this, but let's dig a little bit deeper here. Like, is there anything else on this roster we can get excited about? Long term.
Kuzma and Portis.
Yeah, I mean, Kuzma and Portis, sure. But what's the timing on this deal? Like, is it a trade deadline deal? Is it an off-season deal? That's the kind of question that I have. Because if it's a trade deadline deal, something's possibly coming back. You got to think something's coming back for Giannis. That whole dynamic is also super interesting because I think Giannis has so much risk associated with him, with his knees, the style of play. Like, we got actually an answer on that, is like a resolution expected in the coming weeks. I think this is being handled correctly by Milwaukee and by Giannis getting ahead of it. Like, don't let this thing drag out. Don't let this head to the off season unless they just get together and decide it's going to head to the off season. That could be the resolution. But it really feels like there's no future in Milwaukee. There's none. And if you're Milwaukee, you're just hanging on to a depreciating asset that's got major injury kind of hanging over his head. If the big one hits and you've got a guy that needs the ball in his hands, that can't shoot, who's got, questionable defense at this point. Like, I watched him play the other night and it's like, I don't know. I'm not that afraid of Giannis. Like, in terms of like, is he going to be just this major force in the league and just take over? Yeah, the numbers were good early on. I kind of think that was either to get people to get to Milwaukee or for him to make people excited to take him on as a major trade, as a finishing piece to a championship roster. So what's the market here? I don't know. But you mentioned Kyle Kuzma. You mentioned Bobby Portis. Like, is this I can't even say this with these guys. I'll say it, but I don't mean it. Like, is it a run to the wire moment?
Yeah, I think so. And like Shams is saying, this thing's going to be done before the February 5th trade deadline, which that means to me, like, this is kicking into action right now. Like, this is an actionable item that Milwaukee is going to start fielding offers for Giannis and figure this out. The Knicks are said to be Giannis's only team that he wants to go to besides the Bucks, or at least that was, earlier. I don't know what's going to happen now, but man, like, I would not be shocked if something happens in the next 10 days, if not sooner.
You have to do this move quickly. Like, you're going to bring that piece into your roster. It's just the style of play issue alone. Like, any place he goes to, unless they're resetting, and I don't think you reset around Giannis, he's going to have to learn how to stand in the dunker spot. I mean, they'll try to put him up at the top of the key, but who, as a number one or even a number two player in the NBA right now, wants to have Giannis come dribble at the top of the key and just go kamikaze style to the rim and drive and kick, to open shooters? But like, that's such a difference in the style of play. I have a feeling we're going to be talking about whose fantasy value did Giannis murder wherever he gets traded to. And I don't know what the Knicks could do in a deal. I gotta wrap my head around that one because they don't have a lot of kind of overall depth, and I just don't understand their cap situation. We got a December 15 date that looms large here, by the way. Like, you're going to get like a third of the players in the league, I think, become eligible at that time for trade. So the 2 to 3 week window here, I mean, if you're throwing a dart, and maybe they already got this figured out, it's the week after the December 15th deadline, right before Christmas. Holy moly, that could be fun. Can you believe it? Giannis, like, okay, do we have any clue where Giannis is going to get traded? Like, that to me feels like the ultimate starting point here. And we can talk about the roster. Like, let me ask you this, Doc. Does this improve or decrease the value for Miles Turner?
Improves it. Just usage rate alone goes skyrockets.
The style of play certainly is going to shift, and you could see Miles Turner in a pick and pop, kind of an arrangement there, start to get a ton more threes. AJ Green, to me, is the best fantasy asset after the main guys. Does AJ Green become consistent? Do we get a little bit of like a Con Knipple thing going on, though? AJ Green is allergic to defensive stats. Would you go add AJ Green on this news?
No, the guys I'm moving on are Portis and drawing a blank. Portis and Kuzma for starters, and then I think Ryan Rollins gets more life out of this. Like, it doesn't hurt him, and then a guy like AJ Green, I think eventually, once the deal happens, maybe he gets a boost. But with all these guys, it just depends on who comes back, because I don't think you're going to move Giannis for a 1-for-1 deal. So there's going to be players coming back to Minneapolis that may make all these guys we're talking about irrelevant. I don't know, but
that's really ultimately the thing. Like, if it's picks, everybody's in a great spot. Like KPJ, Ryan Rollins, I think are kind of safe from anything, but they're in a great spot if it's just picks that come back. Same with Miles Turner, but like AJ Green, Kyle Kuzma, Bobby Portis, that trio, Gary Trent, that foursome of players. If you wanted to add Cole Anthony to that, feel free. But like, I mean, that's the level of player that we're talking about with all of these guys. Sub-rosterable players that haven't really given us a case for upside. I mean, Kuzma might be the one where you go, all right, we're stuck with Kuzma. All right, let's see if we can have him play well, and maybe we can get some interest in the Kyle Kuzma market somehow, some way. And maybe the Sacramento Kings will get interested and make a phone call. So maybe you get some Kyle Kuzma season for like however amount of time between December, say 25th and the end of January. There's a little Kyle Kuzma zone in there before another trade happens. I don't know. I think whoever comes back is going to have value.
The other question I have is, let's say that the Bucks call the league and call Adam Silver and say, look, we're moving Giannis, but guess what? We're not playing him between now and then, because if he gets hurt, everything is jacked. And we are doing this with full transparency and in good faith, but we're not playing Giannis until we move him. Like, is that possible that happens?
I think the way you phrased that and the way that you rolled that out was the exact way that you should hopefully be able to, if you're talking with Adam Silver in the league, and not have to play the games. Or maybe you can signal it and not say it, so they're not liable, in another context. Okay, we did it for you, Milwaukee. We're not going to do it for this other team. But that's absolutely what's going on here. Like, I would not play Giannis, and I would tell Giannis straight up, Giannis, you're not playing because you need to be traded. You need to get out of here. You don't want to be here. Like, we're a sinking ship. You know it. We know it. We're resetting. It's going to take 5 to however many years to get going over here. But you, sir, need to stay healthy so we can actually trade you. So if he gets a dinged up knee, he can't be traded. I'm sorry.
If you have Giannis on your fantasy roster right now, Brew, what are you panicking? Are you just like, please God, let him keep playing, and then let's get this over with as soon as possible? I think trading Giannis right now is like, well, maybe trading him right now before people think about all this works. But once this sets in, you're selling so low. I don't know that it's doable.
Yeah, I think, if I have Giannis, which I don't, easy for me to say, I would be trading him as fast as possible. And if it's a head-to-head league where people are more apt to buy into what Giannis is selling fantasy-wise, that's going to be sell now. I'm going to hopefully get a third rounder back. I would not value Giannis even in a head-to-head context, even if we're punting all the three deficiencies, the turnovers and the free throws and the lack of threes. If we're punting all that stuff, even with that high valuation, I'm not going to consider Giannis a first, second, third, or even fourth round player the rest of the way. It's the injury risk. It's the wherever he gets traded, he's going to be third fiddle. Wherever he gets traded, it's just my ballpark guess, third fiddle. He has this massive fantasy value because he's in Milwaukee, because they've built the entire franchise around him. He gets to stand at the top, do all the different things, and he just won't. You can't play that way and win with him, and nobody will trade him with that in mind. So I think you sell him now. While his stat averages, by the way, punting even aside, he's a third round value. Like this season, 63% from the foul line. That's hurting. Yes, it's hurting. But the other numbers are so good. 30 points, 10 boards, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. The defensive numbers probably hang in wherever he goes, to some degree. He'll probably get a little bit of a breath of fresh air and some added life at that point in time, maybe some fresher legs even, because he doesn't have to do so much work offensively. But those points, I wouldn't be shocked if he was a 20-point per game scorer wherever he goes. I wouldn't be shocked if it was 18. Rebounds wise, who's he playing with? Right now, they get the ball to Giannis. They box out for him so he can grab the ball and go. Is that going to happen at his new location? 6.5 assists, that's gone. We're looking at 4 assists wherever he gets traded to. So right now, people look at him as an early round guy, and I would trade him right now as a quote early round guy, if not a first or a second rounder. So I would just do that right now, and call me if it doesn't work out. I'll I don't know, cheer you up or something, but it's going to work out.
Send you a burrito.
I'll send you a burrito. Oh boy, that could get bad. Okay, Doc, you got anything else to say on that? I don't know where the hell we were. We were in.
I don't. I just saw some news on TV that Chris Paul clashed with Ty Lue's coaching style. Chris Paul's leadership style clashed with Ty Lue's coaching style. To put a bow on that.
Did they play against each other? Did Chris Paul punk him at one point in time? I don't know. If you guys like what you're watching, hit the like button wherever you're at. Like, just hit it. Hit the little button. It's great. Let's get into what you're watching for tonight. That was a huge story. Awesome stuff. What are you watching for, Doc?
The Atlanta Hawks are hosting the Los Angeles Clippers in Atlanta. Chris Paul has been literally sent from Atlanta back to Los Angeles, away from the team and away from Coach Ty Lue. So he won't be there, but I don't think it matters. Like, I don't think the Clippers are going to be like, oh my gosh, CP3, who never played for us and just sat over there on the bench and tried to hype guys up, isn't here. Now we can breathe and go ball out and destroy people. No, the Hawks are -3 at home at against Clippers at minus 158 on FanDuel, my favorite website, FanDuel. And I think that looks like almost a lock. Dare I say that? That's my Locktober and December, Brew.
Is there a dead CP3 bounce?
And then the Hawks lost to the Pistons by 1 the other day. They're kind of rolling. I think they're 7-3 over their last 10 games, maybe. They've been playing well, and the Clippers are a disaster with or without Chris Paul. And I got a good feeling about the Hawks tonight, man.
Oh, deep breath time, because from a betting standpoint, there is a lot to worry about with the Hawks. Like, they have been on a major schedule push. They've really emptied the clip. They came off of the big minute night and overtime to then turn around and play well against Detroit, and they covered and all the good things, and they're just playing perfectly in the context of their who they are and what they are and all the different things. But like the Clippers, this is the back against the wall moment. We've seen them shrink each and every time this season in those moments. And I don't think they have the fortitude. So like, while the Hawks are at the end of their road, at the end of their push, they're supposed to run out of gas here, and the Clippers are supposed to get fired up over this thing. I'm with you on this. I'm on the -3. And also, the injured star theory for the Hawks with no Kristaps Porzingis, no Trae Young. I think that all plays into a great value here on the line, and 3 is not a lot of points. Let's roll with that. I love it. I think I will be watching Dennis Jenkins tonight. That is obviously the thing. I watched the film of the last game, and there was like maybe one ill-advised shot. I thought that they relied on him in key situations. His defense was practically impeccable. He had one defensive lapse on a Luke Kennard cut. He shut down tons of different actions. Yes, Duncan Robinson might come back and make things a little bit difficult for him in this game. My move here has been the same. I told you guys it could be a bad couple weeks. Last week is when I said that. And I'm just betting on the talent, and I'm betting on the player. So I'll be watching that game closely. Of course, it comes against Milwaukee. And I got to think that this actually fires them up a little bit. Like, you're dealing with this whole Giannis thing. Do we have word on if Giannis is playing? I'm a little thrown off right now. Is Giannis playing in this game?
I don't know, Brew.
I'm getting it right now.
I mean, I would assume. I mean, I haven't heard that he's not, but
he's probable, sure. I believe.
Yeah, but that's probably being looked at right
revised.
Now. And it is Milwaukee, so we don't know.
Let the odds do the talking, because the Milwaukee Bucks line for tonight, it's Pistons -3, and it's -4.5 now. Okay, it opened at -3, and sorry for the on the fly stuff here, folks, but that is that's a line move right there. So I don't know when that hit and all these numbers started moving, but that could be indicative of him not being in the game tonight. So we'll keep an eye on that. But I think it's going to be a wide open game, kind of one way or another. If Giannis is playing, I would think that you could see kind of like the last stand and maybe some frustration there. But a report like this comes out, I kind of think, man, that's a tough dynamic. He's such a fabric of the community in Milwaukee. He's going to want to leave in a classy way. So I don't know if tonight's the way that he I don't know if this is going to go the way that he thinks it's going to go. It's going to be an interesting game. I will be dialed into this game. All right, Doc, what else you got as far as what you're watching for tonight?
I think that was it. I was very intrigued by the Pistons, just like you are. They're at the Bucks, so that adds some interest to, like you said, I could see Ryan Rollins and Kevin Porter Jr. if he plays, and Kuzma and Portis being more fired up. Like, oh man, we need to start getting hyped up for no Giannis time. The fact you're going all in on Dennis, with Duncan Robinson going through shoot around and probably playing, and the only reason Giannis Jenkins supposedly started in the last game was because Duncan Robinson was out, you're really doubling and tripling down here. And God love you, brother. I may the force be with you. May this, as a Dennis Jenkins owner who has him starting in a couple leagues, like, I hope you're right. Like, let's go. But I would not bet a dollar on Dennis Jenkins tonight. I have the exact opposite feeling that you do about this.
Hey, don't get me wrong. Like, I have him in lineups where it's a half week segment, so I can, is he had 2 games he's starting? Okay, I'll take the one start, and we'll just gamble because he's up against a lot of 1 game guys. So I got him in there for that reason. I would not, if I had a choice, if Duncan Robinson goes, he's on my bench. Like, I'm not trying to like overexpose the action here. And also he could be a good streamer because you have a guy, he had a 30 usage rate when he was in the other night. And Duncan Robinson is basically Cade Cunningham's security blanket out there. He stands out on the outside and just takes the attention away. So Cade can kind of rock his defender to sleep and muscle his way to the lane. And that's great. It does great things for Detroit. Cade Cunningham, a top 10 player in the league. But for them to be their best version of themselves, they need somebody who can break the paint, and they need to do it with somebody who can have the speed to get the respect and not have 5 defenders with a foot in the paint. That's why you're relying on a Duncan Robinson right now if you're Detroit. So if you want to ride Duncan Robinson to the finals, feel free, Detroit, but you can't actually do that. He won't be good enough to get you there. You need the multifaceted offense. And by the way, Dennis Jenkins gives you defense as well. So it's like, this is a contract thing. This is a numbers crunch. You got Jaden Ivey out there, who, by the way, Dennis Jenkins is better than just right now and maybe for the rest of their careers. They got guys that they got too many of them, and they got to try to figure it out. And I think what will happen is attrition will set in and the cream will rise to the top. And that's what we're going for here with Dennis Jenkins. I was going to talk about the Kings, but I'm not, because who cares? It's the Sacramento Kings. Let's go to add and pass. Let's do it. Doc, Anthony Black, add or pass. I'm not gonna talk about the Kings. I'm not gonna talk about the Kings. Anthony Black, add or pass.
I'm not gonna comment on you not commenting on the Kings. Anthony Black.
I'll comment on the Kings at some point. I'll find a way.
Anthony Black, I'm going to add. He's hot, man. He's hot. He's playing well. He's in a good spot. Banchero's not coming back for a minute. I need to have somebody to drop. Maybe
who you dropping?
Dennis Jenkins, maybe. But I gotta have somebody to drop. But I like Black, man. He's playing well right now, and I feel like I have confidence in him. I don't feel like I'm gambling putting him in a lineup, whereas Josh Minot is a huge roll of the dice to me. Like, ooh, I may get nothing out of him. I may get a solid line. With Black, I just feel like he's locked into his 25, 26 minutes and solid line.
It might be the case that Desmond Bane's opening up the game for him as well. Like,
man,
Desmond Bane's played in
Desmond Bane right now.
I love it. But Anthony Black has been way more consistent than in past seasons. And with the news of Paolo Banchero, no contact right now. To me, that's like 2 to 3 weeks of ramp for Anthony Black to see if he can be consistent as a late round value. And he's had enough poppy lines in there to make you think, yeah, this is possibly a thing. And he might just earn his way into fantasy GM's good graces with a solid 2 to 3 week run. So I'm kind of with you there. Now, Josh Minot's the next name on the list. I think we covered him in the earlier show, but I am ambivalent here. I know I'm supposed to have a scorching hot take. Is this the time I'm going to add Josh Minot? And my answer is
a lot of games tonight.
Yeah, he doesn't have a game tonight, though.
That's what I'm saying. If you're going to add Josh Minot right now, you're going to have to maybe.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it right now. I want to. This last game was good with the minutes. It was like I was talking earlier in the last show about there's going to be a good game. And you got to decide if you want to beat everybody to the punch, because if he has a second good game in a row, everybody will be on him. With one good game, and especially like an iffy good game, nobody's on him right now, I don't think, in 12-team, 156-player leagues. So I would say I'm not going to – my strategy is 1 out of every 3 times it's a possibility to add him. I will do it 1 out of every 3 times. I will not spend my 1 out of every 3 times on this time for Josh Minot. I will wait until the next game and get some more information there. Next up on the list, Jordan Goodwin. Any interest there, sir?
Well, my Minot take is I'm picking him up in a 16-team league. I'm not picking him up in a 12-team league. To me, he's a luxury fantasy stash. As far as Jordan Goodwin goes, I just haven't caught the Jordan Goodwin bug yet. I know he's getting minutes. I know he's playing. I need to see more. I need to do some research here. I just haven't been feeling Jordan Goodwin. Am I missing the boat here, Brew? Or am I going to be sad that I wasn't all in on Jordan Goodwin right now?
The key thing is you're doing your own research, sir. I don't know. I think it's all about Devin Booker. Like, he got out of that locker room and into his street clothes and was talking trash to LeBron in the second half of that game really quickly. And I just wonder if they looked at the schedule and said, hey, look, we only got one other game this week. It's not worth burning Devin Booker out. We're playing well. Everything's good. Let's just pull you out of the game. You're all good. Take a week off. Let's get you back. Maybe he misses a game or two. If they come back and I got a Paolo Banchero groin injury, then, oh my God, Jordan Goodwin's going to be solid late round value for a very, long stretch. Right now, I'm just not going to, I'm not feeling the Devin Booker super injured thing. So I will say pass on Jordan Goodwin. Next up on the list, Kyle Filipowski. How are you with Kyle these days?
And the other point with Goodwin, and you mentioned it, they only have one more game this week. So if you pick Goodwin up, you might get one decent game out of him. Booker comes back next week, and then you're like, well, that was kind of useless. Pick up a guy that's got at least a couple games left this week, if not 3. It's only Wednesday nights. There's probably somebody who plays Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and I'm sure there are. Pick up one of those guys and don't mess with Goodwin unless you're in a roto league where it doesn't matter. Games played don't matter. If head to head, though, man, get the 3-game guy. Filipowski, I actually dropped Filipowski for somebody, Jalen Tyson, maybe somebody pretty good the other day.
That's fair.
I am intrigued by Filipowski. I don't want to drop him, but when he's the worst guy on your roster and there's somebody you really want to pick up, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I think he had another good game. He's messing with us. And it's Ace Bailey season in Utah. That's going well for you personally, Doc. So that's kind of maybe taken a little bit of his opportunities. But again, as I know I've said, and I think you've said the same thing, is that eventually these Yusuf Nurkic's and Kevin Loves and heaven forbid Georges and Yang, if I got that right, I never get his name right. If these guys just go away, it's Kyle Filipowski season. And he literally hand delivered me tons of money late last season. And I maybe, who knows, maybe I'm just too happy about that. But I think it could happen again here. So I will add Kyle Filipowski where I can. It's not going to happen on every team, but I'm trying to add before it gets good. What about Bruce Brown and Spencer Jones? Do you like to add either of them?
Well, we talked about
Spencer in the past segment, but between the two of them, there's some Jamal Murray point guard, injury concerns there. Can Bruce Brown be an old Bruce Brown that we saw many years ago?
What is the Jamal Murray situation? He's day to day, right? It's not like he's going to be out for a week or anything like that.
No, we don't have any word on that. It's just sort of like generalized concern after last game.
Yeah, Bruce Brown, the numbers just haven't been great. His last game was 20 minutes. Didn't shoot it well. 7 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, nothing else. He did have a 10-dime game last Saturday, but I'm just not unless Jamal Murray's out for an extended period of time, then I might say, okay, I need to think about rolling the dice on Bruce Brown here, but I'm just not feeling it. I'm passing.
Yeah, I'm passing, I think, on Bruce Brown as well, and then taking a quick shot as a stream for Spencer Jones.
Spencer
Jose
Jones, yeah,
Alvarado.
I'm in on Spencer Jones right now. Like
Yeah.
who would you cut to pick up Spencer Jones? Like Filipowski or Spencer Jones?
No, I would not cut Filipowski, but I would cut somebody like Josh Minot to see if maybe with Spencer Jones. The thing I like about Spencer Jones is he's got a defined role on this team. It's run to the 3-point line and get open and just play tough basketball. And this team, that like the opposing teams are going to they're going to leave him open. There's guys that they want to cover. Is not Spencer Jones. So I think he's going to get a lot of action in the box score if this configuration stays together. Interesting questions and comments in the chat. It's a silent S for George Niang. And just like Eve Misi, it's a silent S. The more you know, folks. Filipowski or Jenkins rest of season? The world needs to know, apparently. I guess this is directed at me. I would take one Dennis Jenkins because Dennis Jenkins is a better basketball player than Kyle Filipowski. And that's all I got for you, folks. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Jose Alvarado is next up on the list. How much do you like Jose for an ad?
I don't really. Fears is playing good. Alvarado steals. Like, he's got one steal in one game, and then he went 2 back-to-back games without a steal, and then he had 2 in one game, and then he's had a couple more without one. The points, the scoring's not really there. The assists aren't really there, and the rebounds are lacking. Like, I don't see the appeal in adding him right now, especially with the way Fears is playing for them. Now, I think there is a path for Alvarado to have value, especially if they start shutting guys down. Like, I'm not ruling out Alvarado as a pickup at some point. It just doesn't feel like now is the right time.
I should have mentioned Alvarado's name when talking about the pivot in New Orleans, where you get the stench of Zion out of the room. And Alvarado's the exact opposite of that. Like, he uplifts everybody on the floor when he plays. The crowd gets into it. He makes a couple crazy plays. He's got great pop. He almost had a triple-double, I think, the other night with a low-end triple-double. Like, it's not a guarantee. He's super injured all the time. But if I'm in a 14 to 16 team league and I got an issue at point guard, absolutely I'm looking at Jose Alvarado as this pivot could possibly take place. It's going to be messy, though. It'll be messy, and I'm not going to have high expectations for it, but at least he has the pop. He could be a top 125 player in 20 minutes per game. So the bar is not very high for him to clear. And he could probably walk right under it. Ayo. Maxime Reynaud is on the list. You got any interest there? Hey, you know what? I can talk about the Kings. Maxime Reynaud.
I was just going to say, dude, I was so proud of myself for figuring out what team he played for before you were going to throw it to me. And I was like, he's on the Kings. I got him all pulled up. I got ready. I got some BS ready because I don't pay attention
hot Reynaud takes.
Kings.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I was already, and you're like, I'm going to talk about the Kings. I'm running with this. And now it's funny because had I not gotten it pulled up in time and had not felt confident in my BS, I was going to be like, Brew, why don't you tell us about him since you're the resident Kings expert? So the people are better off either way.
They are. I watch an unhealthy amount of the Kings, though. This year I'm watching 72% less Kings, and I'm so healthy for it. You should really look into it, Sacramento. It's actually a really good thing. But then I saw Reynaud kind of like make an appearance in the box score, and then I'm like, okay, they're talking about him. Okay, they got to throw this guy out on the floor. And I watched he and Drew Eubanks put together some of the worst center play I've seen in I'd say like a season. Reynaud has this funny ability. At some levels, he looks quick, and you're like, oh man, that guy can move. He got to get from the top of the key to the cup really quick, and that's going to be super useful. And then others are like, dude, the guy is just stuck in cement, and he's got nothing going. And I think that's going to be the problem for him this year. There's not really a path for him to, even if they go, oh, it's Raynaud's season, we're just going to go for it. He would need a lot of help from teammates, like playing good basketball, to sort of kind of spoon feed him some easy buckets and kind of get that stat set going and all the different things. So I'm not there. I'm not there with it. And as far as the Kings go, what folks really need to be keying in on with the Kings is, when does their pivot occur? Zach LaVine is getting kind of laughed at locally, and the fans are just so in against him. I feel bad for the guy at this point. But DeMar DeRozan, in light of this Clippers news, if you need leadership in your locker room, like DeMar DeRozan does one thing really, really badly when it comes to leadership, is he doesn't know what a good shot is to save his life right now. Maybe in another time during his career he did, but right now he's just out there trying to draw fouls, and he goes to it every single time. You know, it's like an episode of Fantasy NBA Today. I'm going to talk about Dennis Jenkins every single time. Come on, can we talk about something else, please? He's seriously like killing the Kings, and if they get rid of him, it's going to open things up for Malik Monk. You're going to see all sorts of minutes open up. They'll play Keon finally. Okay, great. And it's even more than that. If they can find, some sort of taker for any other player on the roster, or if Domantas Sabonis just like, I don't think he can get traded at this point, but maybe they can trade him. But one of these guys, one other player other than DeRozan goes out, you're going to see a big shift where this team actually kind of complements each other and they'll play a little bit better. It'll be in the middle of the season. It'll be right around like March or something. But if it can happen before then, oh my God, you're going to see Malik Monk potentially have top 50 value. You're going to see Keon Ellis have potentially top 50 value. You're going to see Russell Westbrook kind of level out a little bit, be a little bit less inconsistent. You'll see Dennis Schroeder get value. And then Keegan Murray can really step into that early round value that we think he's capable of. So the Kings could be a good team. That was your Kings update.
You did it.
Jeremiah Fears is on this list. I think we talked about him earlier. But do you have an ad in you here?
You know what? I'm gonna talk about Jeremiah Fears. You read some chat. Jeremiah Fears. I am a sucker for what Jeremiah Fears does, dude. 20 points a game lately, double figures in every game since late October. Get some boards, get some assists, get some threes, get some steals, all of that. I love Fears. I'm picking him up.
I love it. Guys, while you're thinking about all these ads and all the stuff that we're talking about today, take a quick second, head on over to sportsethos.com to get our free app. It has all of our news updates. Like, nobody does news updates anymore, but we still do news updates. We use humans even to do them. And that means you can stay caught up in your leagues without having to get on social media, without having to get to a website, though. You can go to our website. It's great on mobile at sportsethos.com, but get the free app. It's got all sorts of tools. It's all sorts of good stuff. We're going to be continuing to invest in this app, and you can find it in either the Apple App Store or in Google Play. And that is going to do it for a spicy, exciting show. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Andre. Thanks to the content team behind the app, the tech team behind the app, the Mike Passadors, the Keston Pauls, the Mark Camaros, the Tim Woodsons, the William Harrises of the world, the Thomas Sirios. What's up, Tom? For Steve, for Andre, and for all of us here at Sports Ethos, enjoy your Wednesday night. This has been Fantasy NBA Today, presented by FanDuel.
Q&A with Dr. A is next.
Oh, Q&A with Dr. A is next. Thank you.